Hi. All right, so I'm actually working on something, and you know how it is, right? When you have a project in front of you and you're doing a bit of research, then you stumble on something else that causes you to raise an eyebrow, and you just know that it's something that you need to address, you need to talk about. All right. That's what I'm about to do now. So I saw something here. It actually boils down to this issue of generic advice, these generic little pieces of information, tips and techniques that you find all over social media, all over the internet, and you find that people really take up this information and they run their lives with this information. So that's what I want to look at. So there's this lady, I'm not going to call her name. Anyway, but there's this lady here. She says that if only handling stress was as easy as saying just breathe, there would have less people dealing with stress. She goes further and she says unsolicited advice like calm down, don't stress, or just breathe oversimplifies something very complex. And then she says stress mastery is a skill that involves awareness, boundaries, and emotional regulation and integration. You see the contradiction in her statement? All right, that last part that she said is very true. That is what stress mastery is. It is a skill that involves awareness, the knowledge of boundaries, the appreciation of boundaries, emotional regulation and integration. That is fact. But what she then said before then, that words or advice like calm down, don't stress it, or just breathe oversimplifies something very complex. That is where I have a challenge, because what she's implying is that by telling someone to calm down or don't stress or just breathe, you're literally telling the person to sweep the issue under the rug. You're telling the person, do not broach the subject matter, let it go. Now she is the one that is oversimplifying a complex matter. And then again, what exactly is complex? I'm a stress mastery expert. So you do know, if you follow me, that one of the tenets of stress mastery is learning the art of self-control. And you can only regulate yourself and control yourself if you are able to calm down. So when we tell you to calm down, when we tell you to breathe, when we tell you to not stress it, what we're actually trying to tell you is there's a need for you to regulate your emotions. There's a need for you to be aware of your environment, aware of how you're feeling, aware of the people around you, or even the person or the thing that is antagonizing you. And then there's a need for you to be appreciative of boundaries. Understand what your boundaries are, and remember what the tenets of your boundaries are. You cannot achieve that if you don't calm down. Now, this buys into the general implication or of people who go like, no, something happened to them, and they're like, no, there's a fire burning in me. I've got to deal with this now. I've got to do this now. Calm down. You see, you're not in competition with anyone. You're not out to prove anything to anyone. Once you understand that, once you get the power of self-regulation, then you'd appreciate when somebody tells you to calm down. Do you know how many problems have been averted by people who have learned the art of calming down? So please, it is not an oversimplification of a complex matter. It is actually an empowering word that helps you confront a complex situation with logic, with tact, with wit, towards solutions, and not just towards chaos for the sake of it, because you want to prove a point. Nobody can get the better of you. No, let's be better, okay? So whatever situation you're going through, it doesn't matter what it is, calm down, breathe, don't stress it. You find that the solutions come to you easily, right? And then you would have averted a lot of wahala for yourself and for other people. But in all things, always remember that your wellness and your well-being matters first. Only then can you be of service to any other person. So that's what I wanted to share, and I hope you've been able to get the message. But if you disagree with what I shared, I would like to know your own thoughts on it and your own opinion. This is a safe space, so let's share, okay? All right, so I need to get back to what I was doing. Bye.